welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys, I was making this for a client, so I wanted to show you guys how to do it. So it's just almost like a circle bottom, a circle maxi dress, so with this scrunchy sleeve. So basically all you have to do, this fabric is cut by 60, it's almost like a sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and, so what I did here is just to go ahead and fold it into two. So as you can see, this fabric is folded. If I open it up, it's this big, right? And then it's folded into two. So guys, you see the way it's folded now. Like I said, this is the folded part of the cloth, right? And then open this way, it's about 48. So this is more than 60. Like this width here is 48 into two. So if I open it up, like I said before, it's a fabric that is used for sheets, right? So now what I'm going to do now is to go ahead and turn it around this way, and then I'm going to tilt it like you're cutting an A line. Guys, just look at what I'm doing here. This is the folded part, this is the part with the opening. All I have to do is just to tilt it like this, like in form of an angle, right? Tilt it in form of an angle this way, because it's a maxi dress, right? This way. So let me pull it up some more so you see. Just make sure that the fold of the angle can fit into the fabric. It doesn't go over this line. So that's what I have here. So now this is going to be my dress. As you can see, I'm cutting both the front and the back at the same time. This is the folded part. You see? I'm cutting the front and the back at the same time. So now that you've tilted it and folded it in form of an A line, I'm just going to go ahead and start to insert the measurements. So guys, the first measurement you're going to go ahead and insert here is just your you can use the shoulder measurement, because this is an off shoulder dress, right? So her shoulder is 15. Normally when you go to do this, you might put in your 15 divided by 2 and insert it as your shoulder, but I'm just going to use that 15 as a whole, as the line I'm going to mark here. But it doesn't fit in here, so I'm just going to use maybe, let's say 13. But normally you would go ahead and insert the whole 15 here, so that you can be able to pass elastic through it and make it into a gather. That's your complete shoulder measurement, is what you would normally put in here. So I'm just going to mark a straight line across this way. And then just to be sure that you're marking a straight line, you might want to tilt it around and make sure you have the straight line on this edge here, right? So after that, the next thing you're going to go ahead and put in now is your armhole. So it depends on you how many inches before how many inches you're using before you came down to the top, like how many inches will be cut off as the off shoulder, is what I'm trying to say. So for me, I'm going to be cutting off about, let's say 5 inches or 6 inches. Let's say 6 inches, right? Normally people do 4 inches, but I find that it's too high. And then I'm going to come down here at the edge of this cloth now, mark it down, and then I'm going to go ahead and mark it out this way. And then this is going to serve as my armhole. But just know that I use 6 inches here, and the length you're going to come down by is going to be your armhole divided by 2. So her armhole divided by 2 should be somewhere around 10. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that here, and then give it a curve this way. I'm going to curve it in this way. So this is going to be the armhole, and then I'm going to maintain this A line all the way down in form of an angle. So now all I have to do is just to go ahead and insert her dress length. So she wants this dress to be so her shoulder to her ankle is supposed to be 58, but since I'm going to remove 6 inches from here because of the off shoulder, so that's 58 minus that 6 inches, so I'm going to be left with 52. So I'm going to make sure that I take my tape down and then mark 52 all over like this, like how you would mark normally on a circle dress. So I'm going to place my tape at 6 and then mark 52 all over. But instead of marking 52, I still need to add seam allowance to fold the edge of this cloth. So that means I'm going to mark instead of 52, I'm going to mark 53 because I need 1 inch here. But my seam allowance for the top here, I'm going to be cutting it into this. So let me go ahead and mark that 53. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead and marked this. Guys, what I did here now is that I brought down this measurement because I wanted to use the edge. Because if I had cut it using the first one, I would have cut off this bold part of the flay. But I wanted this bold part of the flay. So what I did was just to measure the 53 from the end of the cloth and took it up. and then wherever the line was, I just connected it this way and then put back my measurements. If you notice that anything changed, it's because I want to get this widest part of my girder. Because if I had used this first line at the top, my girder would have stopped somewhere here, and then I would have cut off this wider part. And the beauty of the cloth is to get this widest part of this part so that it will give you that flowiness. So in order to do that, once you fold your fabric into two, take your tape up from the end on this side. Don't use this side, use this edge here. And then insert the measurement that you need the length of the dress to be, take it up. And then wherever you took it up to, let that part be the shoulder of your clothes. And then at that point, insert your shoulder measurement, insert the armhole, and then now you can cut. So the A-line has already formed itself, and then I'm getting the most of my fabric by using this flake. If I had used this one now, this first one I showed you guys, my 53 would have been somewhere here, and it would have cut off the beauty, which is the wide opening and wide flare that I actually need. So now that I've marked it, all I have to do now is just to take my scissors, go to the edge here, and then I'm going to start to cut. So just cut from here. So guys, the next thing, now that I've cut this part, the next thing I did is just to come up here by at least 1 inch or so because of my elastic, and then I'm going to rule a line here. This is going to form the casing of my elastic. I'm going to fold it on top of this, right? This is still the main line of the top of my cloth, but I need something to make the casing. Instead of adding it to the seam allowance, I just left everything, just added 1 inch to the length, and then the rest of the what I need for my casing, I just added this after. So now all I have to do is just to put in from here now and cut out this armhole part. So you cut from here, you cut all the way up, and then now you can go back in here and cut from this line too. And then now, once you finish cutting this, you already know that this part here, when you open it up, this part here is going to be folded this way, right? You're going to fold this to make a casing for your elastic, and this is before you add in your sleeve. I'm also going to be putting it in a pocket here. So what I'm going to do is just to come down from under her armhole to like at least 12 inches down here. So take your tape, measure from under her armhole to at least 12 inches or so. And then you're going to notch that part. This is where the pocket is going to come in. So I'm going to notch it. You can do 13, it depends on you, or you can just measure it on yourself and see where it fits in for you. Some people like the pocket to be high, some people like it to be down at where their arm's length is. So it depends on you where you want yours to be. And then now what I'm going to do now is just to go ahead from this scrap here. I'm going to cut out her pocket and her sleeve. But in the meantime, this is what it's going to look like. So once I open it up now, you see this upper part of this here is going to be folded this way, and then it's going to be scrunched together this way, and then it's going to give me this circle part this way. But let's go ahead first and cut out our pocket. So to cut the pocket, I'm just going to take this upper part of this fabric, fold it into two again. I'm just going to give her a deep pocket. I'm going to take this, fold it into two this way, and just cut something that looks like a rectangle all the way down. That's going to serve as her pocket, because this is a maxi dress. One thing you don't want is a pocket that is small. So this is going to serve as her pocket, right? This here is going to be the pocket. I'm going to put one on each side, right? One for each side. This is it, one on this side, one on the other side. So she puts in her hand. I'm going to sew this part close, and then for the sleeve, we are going to come back to cut the sleeve once we finish. But to add the pocket, all you have to do is just to take this cloth this way, the way it is. Remember, you're cutting the front and the back together. This cloth doesn't have any particular front or particular back. So all I have to do is just to take this pocket, and you can sew it this way if you want. Just take it here, join one part of it to the back panel, and then one other part to the front panel. And then once you come down from the armhole, you sew it close, go over to this side. Do the same thing on this side, sew it close, go over to this side, and you've closed it up, and then continue the stitch all the way to the down part of the dress, and do the same on the other side. So let me go ahead and couple mine together and bring it back so you guys to see. So guys, you see I've gone ahead and folded this top part here, and then made a stitch in between, and then pass elastic. If you want to have this ruffle at the top, just make a second stitch in between and then put your elastic at the lower one, and then leave the top part. It will give you that ruffle effect. So that's what I did for this her own. Now you see the body of the clothes here. You see it's giving that circle at the body, and then it also has a pocket. You see it has the pocket on both sides. So now see the other side of the pocket here. So now the next thing that we have to do, you see the armhole is still this way, is I've already gone ahead and cut what I'm going to use for the sleeve and ironed it out. So this is basically what I'm using for the sleeve. It's like a rectangle, and it depends on you the width you want to use, depending on how much gather you want yours to have when you're done. So mine is about, the width of my own is about, so guys, this is it here. It's about, let's say 6 inches or so, 6 inches. But remember, I needed 1 inch at the bottom to sew the edge, and then 1 inch, sorry, I needed half an inch here and half an inch here, so maybe about 7 inches in total for the width. And then the length here, the length, and then the width here, it depends on you. For me, what I'm working with is about 21 inches. So it depends on you. So once you've done that, now what I did is to fold it so all the sides, but leaving about just enough to pass this elastic in between here and come out to the other end. So you see there's a stitch I made here, and then there's another stitch here. This is going to be the stitch in between here, is where my elastic will pass through. And then once I put it in, I'm going to gather the two of them and show you guys how I'm going to just sew it at the edge on this side and then on the other side. So guys, I've gone ahead and finished one. But guys, I would advise, when you're going to make this stitch here, maybe try to bring up this stitch to be at the center, so it can be on the same line as this, so that when you wear it and pull the elastic, it will help hold it on your body. Or if you can't do that, just make the elastic at the center tight enough, like make it small enough, so that, because you know when this is pulling on the side, right, when you wear it now and your sleeve, your hand comes out on this side, your arm comes out on this side, you need it to be tight enough. But you see the part is attached on this is still free, like it's attached on this free part of it, so it might not give you that tight fitting. But for me to get that tight fitting, I made sure to reduce the elastic to be small enough so that everything will be fitted on you. But if you don't want the elastic to be fitted, then bring up this elastic part, like instead of putting it at the center of the both side of the ruffle, pull it up towards the upper part more, so that it can be on the same line as this part here, you understand? So that once this elastic is here, because you see the part with the elastic, it has some kind of stiffness on it, but you see the part with the ruffle and the flay, it's just free because of this part here, you understand? So now this is how you're going to join it. You're going to make sure you've sewn close all the way to the top of your armhole. You just have this opening, and then you have your sleeve. You pull the elastic from one end, and then you close up that side. You see, this is the part, and then I went ahead and stitched it. So now all I have to do is just to pull it enough and start to make the gather, right? You've made the gather you want now. So you see, just distribute it how you want it to be, and then you're going to take one side of it, start from the end, and then sew it down. Like you're going to sew it in such a way that you will be able to hide the stitch, right? So it's supposed to go this way. Sew it from the bottom all the way to the top. You will have some excess at the top depending on the length of the armhole, or you might not have. So it depends on you. You might want to go back and measure yours and know how you want your ruffle, the length of your ruffle to be. If you want it to be up even at the top of your cloth this way, then make it more. You understand? So add more to the length. Instead of doing like the 7 inches I did, you might do 8 inches. It depends on you. So all I have to do now is take this one side of it, go to the sewing machine and sew it close all the way to the top like this, and then take the other side with the elastic, do the same thing, starting from that armhole again. I'm going to take that part and sew it all the way to the top, and once I'm done, I'm going to just have a closed end with this part this way. Let me show you guys how it looks on this one. You see, I did the same thing here. I sewed this one all the way on this side, sewed the other side all the way here. So now once it's done, you have this ruffle here. So once your arm enters inside this here, you're going to have the ruffle looking this way. So that's basically it. I'm going to go ahead and put this one in, and that will be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Guys, please subscribe to the channel, and thank you guys so much. Bye.